There's a video from yesterday entitled, "Here is the Evidence." Oh no. So, Jillian, creator of Jilly Juice, apparently is going to show us some proof that Jilly Juice is real. For those who don't know, Jilly Juice is a fake snake oil medicine made up by this lady. It's fermented, salty cabbage water. It's disgusting. It gives you crazy diarrhea that she calls waterfalls. And she thinks this will cure you of all your diseases. If you're gay, she thinks it'll, air quote, cure you of the gay. She thinks if you're trans, it'll cure you of being trans. She thinks it'll make you live forever, and if you are missing any limbs or organs, that you will regrow the organs. She is crazy. So let's see what her video today is on Here's the Evidence. She's also been on Dr. Phil.
So truth passes through 3 stages. What is a truth? Truth is another perspective to look on a situation, a belief system, an outcome.
Will it cure you by giving the right body, though? No, that's not what she thinks. That's not how she thinks about it, no.
Is it a fact? No, because facts are...
Wait, what'd she say? I missed it. I was reading the thing.
Is another 3-stage... So...
Thank you to Neko Girl. Thank you for following. I assume that's the pronunciation.
Truth passes through 3 stages. What is a truth? Truth is another perspective to look on a situation, a belief system, an outcome.
No, a truth is an accurate reflection of reality. A truth is an accurate assessment of reality. I don't know what the specific definition of truth is, but it's basically something that is true, something that is consistent with reality as we understand it. Or not even as we understand it, that's just consistent with reality. That's the truth. It's not... What?
Is it a fact? No, because facts are just words that are only a noun and cannot be an adverb, an adjective, or a verb. Facts are just words. So now you have to understand that truths can be interchangeable based upon belief systems, and then it comes down to the fact, life or death. So when
if you didn't have word salad already, mark that one off.
accuse others, yes, of living in an occult lifestyle where death is the ultimate outcome, I have to substantiate. Well, I think I have.
There's nothing funny about
I've substantiated that those that allow their...
Has she been studying at the Jordan Peterson School of Truth? I don't think she'd like Jordan Peterson, because Jordan Peterson promotes Michaela Peterson's meat-only diet, and Jillian hates anyone else who promotes any other health thing outside of Jilly Juice. If anyone promotes literally any alt health or health thing other than Jilly Juice, she loses it. And she's like, that's all, BS. That's gonna get you killed. You gotta drink Jilly Juice. It's kind of hilarious, actually.
Their animals to die. Those that allow their mom and dad to die, pull the plug. Those that allow themselves to die, live and breathe death and occult. That is the very essence of occult.
Why is she saying occult so weird?
Torture is all about intention. Torture is a word that can be a noun, it can be a verb, and it could be an adjective. So now it's relative to perception. Torture is not a fact. So you're doing
I'm feeling pretty tortured right now, folks.
Perception. So yes, I am responding to a page called "Where's the Evidence," and it has the airplane with the lines in the sky, because I'm hitting upon and challenging belief systems that are out there right now. And that's exactly what the Jilly Juice does. We challenge belief systems. We don't play with status quo. We don't say it's okay to die. We don't intentionally or unintentionally hurt somebody or destroy someone or something. We understand science because that's what those...
I usually try and have, if not something informative to say, at least something entertaining to say. But with Jillian, it's so hard because it's like trying to climb like a sheer surface. There's just nothing to grab onto. It's all nonsense. None of it means anything. She thinks it does, but it doesn't, and it all just hurts. It all just hurts me.
that claim that they think they know and that people should die is based upon science. Well, yes, if you don't give your animal or you or anything alive the proper chemistry to stay alive, yes, science will say it will die. So you're absolutely right. Where's the evidence? Science. You know where the evidence is? Look at your belief system and look how many people you've buried in your life and look at how many animals you have buried if you have had an animal before. And if you've never had an animal, then you should have no judgment on how I raise my animal. So I think it's very interesting. Very, very interesting.
Well, Jillian, I do have a pet. And the fact that you consistently give your pet salty fermented cabbage water to drink, that's messed up. You're hurting your pet.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Jouster's End with 20 bits. Frickin' science. How do they work?
When I get a response around my animal, it's because I am hitting on belief systems. I'm challenging them. And I think it's great because they are advertising Jilly Juice. Regardless of what people think, regardless of what people's judgments are, regardless of their belief system or how
There's
shocking.
nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Maya is bored with 20 bits. Yes, please, Jilly Juice. Say that part about the torture to my face. My paternal grandmother was tortured by Mussolini's troops when she was just 18. Maybe don't trivialize it. Mussolini's. Was that what Mussolini's forces were called? Mussolini's. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry.
They think my information is, they're getting exposed to something totally new, now through a different avenue, through an animal. And will they face their own evolution? Will they face new information? Will they be able to absorb new information? Not everybody will. Not everybody will. I understand.
Misunderstand says, because you platformed this, I'm going to drink cabbage water. If it's not salty and not fermented, it won't taste good, but it'll probably be fiber, I guess. I don't know. Just don't put salt in it.
And then I know it. How many people have seen my information and will still believe in their current belief system? How many have been exposed to my information that have changed their beliefs because they're like, oh, wow, she actually makes sense. Great. And then they do the...
Not as many as you would think, Jillian. There are some people who have gone down the rabbit hole of Jilly Juice. You gave a couple of them strokes, if you'll remember the Dr. Phil episode that you were on. But not that many people buy into Jilly Juice, and that's the simple fact, because it's silly.
Funny about the tools of
it's not Jilly Juice. It's silly juice. Not my best joke, but there it is. Maya is bored with 20 bits. I just suck at spelling. Was trying to spell Italian dictator's name. Okay, so just Mussolini's forces. Gotcha. Stellar Sea Cow. You can drink fermented cabbage juice. It's called kimchi or sauerkraut brines. That sounds disgusting. Don't put salt in it, and I guess you're fine then.
The Jilly Juice. So I get it. I'm going to have different responses and different levels of comprehension to my information, and that's fine. But I want to show you the evidence. The evidence is my dog is still alive, I'm still alive, and that science is...
What's Jillian gonna do when her dog dies? Because Jillian is convinced that Jilly Juice is going to make her and her dog live forever. So when her dog dies, what is she gonna do? How is she gonna justify that in her own head? How is she gonna rationalize the fact that her dog died even though she gives the dog Jilly Juice regularly? Is she just going to think, oh, I didn't give him enough, and then get a new dog and give him even more Jilly juice? Ugh.
The foundation of how to prove life and death. When the outcome...
Oh, yeah, and there was a dog that died as well. That's true. There was already a dog in her Facebook group that was given Jilly juice by one of the owners, and it died. So, how's that work, Jillian?
Is life, then you obviously have given your dog life. When the outcome is death, it means that eventually, you know, if the outcome is death, it means that you have paved the way for your dog to die. You have allowed your dog or your animal, that you have paved the way for your dog to die. You have allowed your dog or your animal or your family or friend or whoever it is that you're taking care of, it allowed them to disintegrate, and they've allowed themselves to disintegrate. Animals have no reasoning and no choices except to do whatever they were instinctually, you know, to do. But when they're under the care of a human, then that animal's under the intentions of that human. And so if that human expects to die, then that animal should expect to die too. And that's what I'm trying to challenge is, do you really
That's
have
not
to
how
die
it
as a
works.
human, and does your animal have to follow suit? But you have to change your belief system in order for you to save your animal and save you and save your kids and save your grandma and grandpa, whatever. And you can't save people that don't want to be saved, obviously. But you can save yourself. And it's about science.
You can't just use the word science and expect it to be an argument in and of itself. Like, it's great to promote actual science and say, like, hey, science is this amazing tool. It's allowed us all the wonderful things of the modern world. But, like, you can't just say a bunch of nonsense and then say science and then have... and then act like saying the word science is magic and it somehow bolsters your argument. It's not how it works. The word science is not what makes science work. It's the fact that the process of science is an effective way to solve problems and learn new things. Querulous Artisan, Jillian, death is just an aspect of life. You need therapy over your fear of death. Agree. Wind Chanter with 20 bits. When her dog dies, we need to send this video to her en masse. I'm not going to promote that. That's pretty cruel. And does she deserve it? I don't know. That's not really my call to make, but she's clearly not all there in the head, and I'm not going to taunt someone like that. That's messed up. Querulous Artisan, sorry I'm so shouty. It's fine.
And so you want to claim science as like, oh yeah, people are supposed to die. Well, yeah, if that's your intention, if you're going to deprive your animal of your child and your grandma, whoever you're taking care of, the proper nutrition, yes, the outcome is death. That's a given. Right there is the evidence. When you deprive somebody of nutrition, you don't take care of their predispositions and reverse whatever issues they have through science, through chemistry, then yes, the outcome is death. Right there should answer your question. Where's the evidence? There's the fucking evidence. You've buried 5 animals in your lifetime. You buried 2 animals in your lifetime. And you're going to bury yourself in the future as you have professed.
Jillian, people die. People die. Animals die. People are animals. Everything that is alive will someday die, right? It's a part of life. It's sad. I agree that it's sad. And it's hard to say goodbye to people and animals that we love. But it's just a fact of life. And we have no way of, like, preventing it indefinitely. Someday, maybe. I don't know. I don't know what sci-fi technology people will have in the future. But today we don't. And the answer certainly isn't salty cabbage water. It's not. So, we have to make the best of the days we have with the people we love. And just understand that our time is valuable and has meaning in part because of its finality. Enjoy life while you can, and that's all you can do. That's part of being human. Just saying.
That's what's supposed to happen. So
she does not have kids, to my knowledge. No, she's married, though.
Yes, science is exactly...
Do you think she's mentally ill? Maybe. I don't know. Fine line. There's a fine line between, like, just being sort of delusional. Because, you know, mentally sound people can delude themselves into some pretty crazy stuff. So, I don't know. You'd definitely have to ask a psychologist or something about that Do I think so, though? Not necessarily. I think Jillian's problem is she has, again, like a lot of people we watch, maybe a bit of narcissism. She thinks she knows more than she does. And she's deluded herself into believing she's created this amazing thing. And I don't know why. Maybe it's compensating for the fact that she thinks she hasn't done anything. So she wants to be this person who's created this amazing, like, panacea. But I don't necessarily think she's actually, like, mentally ill. I think she's just way over her head and has a too high opinion of herself.
Exactly the foundation of every evidence. But guess what? My dog is still alive. She's supposed to be alive. Well, of course. I'm still alive. My dog's still alive. So obviously, with her on the J juice for the last 2, 3, 4 years, she's not dead. Oh, but she will be sometime. Well, how can you predict the future? Why would you cast that kind of spell on somebody unless you have that within you?
You can't. Spells aren't real, Jillian.
I can counter spells people cast on me. People cast spells on me all the time. You're going to die someday on your Jilly juice. Your dog is going to die someday on Jilly juice.
People saying things to you isn't casting spells, Jillian. What?
Guess what? That's a person casting spells. Because they don't know the future. But wait, they don't understand science. So of course they're going to cast...
Does she think she's going to live forever? Yeah, she thinks she thinks she's immortal.
Spells and try to program people into thinking something without looking at science. But those are the ones that don't understand science, are the ones that cast spells without actually understanding science. And so it's quite interesting.
That's the funniest sentence. All these people casting spells and they don't even understand science. Belief in magic, advocating for science. Belief in magic, advocating for science. Kind of seems like you gotta pick one. Winchanter with 20 bits. If spells were real, I would be a billionaire and Medicare would be a thing. Yeah. If spells were real, I'd be the professor in real life, my D&D character, and I'd have a magical toilet I travel the multiverse with. Unfortunately, that's not the case. So here we are instead. Lucky all of you.
Now, thank you. Where's the evidence? For exposing my information to a new audience. Because people need the choice, and you have given them the choice. So in a lot of ways, I appreciate that. It's those that mess with me through emails and like, oh, you shouldn't do this.
Dr. Gamble, 20 bits. Oh yeah, well I counterspell your counterspell, Jillian. Checkmate. What level are you casting counterspell at? We might have to roll for it.
That and they're hiding behind an avatar, but they don't put my information out there for people to make a choice and to decide for themselves, is what you're saying credible or is what she's saying credible. But the fact that where's your evidence, put my stuff out there on their page, go check them out. They have that the icon of
misunderstand. I cast Fireball. Oh.
Of the airplane with the chemtrails. Check them out. They're all about science, but yet they don't understand the science.
Roll your damage dice. My AC... Wait, actually, no, you gotta roll first. My AC is 12. I have a very low AC. I'm easy to hit. Querulous Artisan. 20 bits. I tap 2 blue and cast counterspell. Actually, Fireball isn't a target spell. It's just an area of effect. So assuming it's on me, it's gonna hit. Roll your damage dice.
Science of life. They only know the science of death. So, whatever. However, anyone that threatens my dog or me, the FBI.
Fireball is a dex saving throw for half damage. That's true. Let me do a dex. What would my dexterity be? I'm going to give myself a -3 to dexterity. Let's see what I get. Oh, that's real bad. I'm taking full damage from that fireball. Okay.
Knows.
Does my magic armor lower my dex? No, I was giving myself in real life a dex modifier. The professor the professor gets a bonus to AC from the armor. It's like a magic armor that's part of the special inventor wizard class. And then my dex, it just stays the same. It doesn't affect my dex at all.
There's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Dr. Gamble, 20 bits. Actually, I do believe in magic now. Jillian is living proof of feeble mind spell. That's a little mean.
Who and what people are saying and what they're saying through email as well.
Your armor you don't have anymore? No, that's the mech. The professor has just like, let me show you. Where do I have a larger picture? I'm gonna have to look for Sarah probably. One sec. Let me find it. Sarah, I think, posted a D&D pic a while ago. Ooh, our new keyboard's rad. That's cool. Where is the art? I know she posted art a while back of the D&D. So the thing the professor lost was a mech suit, which was a special thing the professor just bought, which was cool. And I very, very, very much miss it, but the professor has different armor as well. Wow, was it this far back? How far back is this? Jesus. That's some Millennia stuff, and that's her tiefling character. I know a while back she posted a pic of the party. There we go. Okay. This is, this is the channel icon as well. You've seen this zoomed in. But the professor has this, see this purple? This is a special arcano-mechanical armor that the professor has that they can activate at any time, which is separate. That's just part of the... when I adopted the wizard subclass that I have, it was a playtest thing. I don't know if it ever actually came out. It's like an inventor wizard, basically. And, yeah, that's part of it. At a certain level, you can turn leather armor into magical armor, and that's what this is. It sort of activates like Iron Man, you know? Iron Man can kind of do a thing, and, like, but that's, like, physical. This is the same thing, but it's, like, magic, basically. Sarah is good at art. She's fantastic. Everyone, if you haven't already,
there's nothing funny about the tools of capitalism.
Go and follow Sarah on Twitter. And she also has a Twitch, but she doesn't use it very often. Here's a link. She does really cool art. Check her out. Back to Jillian.
Well as what they're saying on Facebook. So no one should be threatening my dog or me.
Brian Naisley, thank you for subscribing with Prime.
Allegedly. But if you're going to threaten my dog or
Tinfoil
me...
gives resistance to fire. Okay.
...and cast spells and say that I'm going to die and they're going to die, my dog's going to die, then what exactly are you promoting? And
School of Invention. Yeah, that's the name of the subclass. Sorry, people who don't care about D&D. I know all of this is nonsense to you.
You are obviously a hypocrite.
Social Justice Wookie, thank you for subscribing with Twitch Prime.
So, yes, science is the end-all, be-all. There's a science of life and the science of death, and you're going to have to choose. Which science do you want to promote? The science of life or the science of death? And then the outcome is the intention.
There's science. There's science. It's just science. There's not, what are you talking about? And science says that you gonna die. Sorry.
So, tell me again, how many animals have you buried? How many people have you buried in your lifetime? Well, you know about Jilly Juice, well, that's okay. But that is the death occult, is when the outcome is the actual intention. Because we have a finite amount of resources and a finite amount of elements and different biochemistry and chemistry and biodiversity that you'll find the combination to life like that, and science has, but there's more money in the death process. When you're taking somebody's life and they're trying to buy it back, take someone's life and trying to buy it back, how much money does a vet make? How much money does a doctor make? How much money does a naturopathic make? You tell me where science lays in with that. The science of capitalism. Yes, science. All about science. Science, capitalism.
Based Jillian. Querulous artisan with 20 bits. The science of death is the science of life, Jillian. It's called biology. True.
Marketing. So, science. That's the evidence. The outcome is the intention. The science of life, the science of death, you choose. Have a good day.
Oh, God, Jillian. It's so hard to get through your videos. They hurt me. Hey, I have more subscribers than Jilly Juice. I feel weird about that. Here's her dog.
You doing your little army crawls? Hi, sugar. Hello. What are you doing, sugar? What are you doing? Anything more than what she has to. If I can make her getting into vehicles or getting into places easier, even with my bed. Sometimes if my bed is made,
I'm so like this is an old, I've never seen her dog before. I don't think. I knew she had a dog. I just don't think I've ever seen the dog. That's an old dog. Like that's a graying dog. You know, it's in the last inning. You know what I mean? What is she gonna do when that dog dies? How is she gonna rationalize it? That's gonna be fascinating.
About the tools of capitalism.
He's hiding from her and her juice. This is sad. Maybe. He might just be, you know, trying to hang out under the bed. I don't know.
if she tries to jump up there, she'll slide down with the covers. So I gotta give her some grip so she can have, that's why I have the sheets weighted. Treat myself. And so that's why I got to ran back to the pound, because I felt like I couldn't take care of her the way I was supposed to, like taking her. I was taught she's pretty happy with whatever, and since I live in the ghetto, I'm not gonna go and.
Did I just cast a spell on her dog? Yeah, I guess. I guess I did.
In the ghetto with different dogs on your right. But Sugar, are you gonna show everybody you can do an army crawl, or are you just gonna be licking? And I got.
This dog is probably very dehydrated, though. Like, legit.
Jiggy. Making her jump in the first time, even when there's no room for anything. You know, and that's... Right? She's a very... Hunt.
Jillian, you're hurting your dog, you're hurting yourself, and you're hurting everyone you convinced to take this nonsense. Please stop. I don't know why I'm even bothering to say this. You're not going to do anything. You're deluded into believing that what you've done is good, and it is not. Please reconsider.